Good morning, all of you students. So welcome to again lecture series on the MSc Physics second year class. So our subject is energy study. We have continued here the first module, energy resources and energy scenario. So summary of the few lectures. So what's seen here? What is mean by energy, or main basic types of the energy and classification of energy. In the classification of energy, the types are given by, for example, nuclear energy resource, fossil fuel energy resource, solar energy resource, wind energy resource, thermal energy resource, biomass energy, or tidal energy, wave energy, and ocean thermal energy, etc. So these type are seen here in shortly, and advantages and disadvantages or the limitation is seen here. And after that, energy change. So what is the mechanism of the energy change will also be here, because you have to know that, so that energy is extract with the help of, with the form of the primary energy resources which are available in the nature, in the raw material, and processing on this raw material we have extract the energy in the electrical type or non-electrical type, and final this energy is supply or transform to final user or consumer. Okay, so this is the energy route or the energy change will be was seen in the last lecture. And after that, one point is there, the statistical review of the primary energy resources, that including part in the notes that was provided also you. So please see this part in the notes, and we want to start. The next point is the impact of excessive use of the fossil fuel. Okay, because you have to know that, or you see that, what is mean by the fossil fuel energy. So that fossil fuel energy is extracted by the natures from the dead material of plants and animals with the action of the chemical composition or microbiological action. So extract these energy resources and use or extract the energy in terms of coal, petroleum, natural gases, etc. So see here, so what is the impact or what is the effect if you have using the excessive amount of this resource. You have to know that what is mean by environment. Okay, so we have to generally say that, so whatever is present in the surrounding, that is mean by the environment. And that environment contain, you have to know that the solid such as the soil, air, water, and other main constituents are which is contained in the these surroundings, and that surroundings which is made up of the, or which is considered as the environment. And that environment nature has the originally provided then human beings in the clean form. So all of the such sources the environment provide for you in for all of the in the cleanest form. But what happens, the passage of the quality of the extraction of the energy resources, because we need to energy to doing the some amount of the work, and that continuously being degrade the man-made reasons, the environment or the situation of the environment and quality of the environment is degrading. And that because of the energy generation and utilization of the chief among the number of the activity due to the energy generation. So we have to release the more pollutant which have affect the environment as well as the life as well as the biodiversity, and that the some pollutants may be produced as the byproduct of the process of the harnessing energy. Okay, and that process of harnessing energy, so many pollutant which are released or many greenhouse release in the earth or in the atmosphere, so that is the supply, the increase the energy demand, effort should be made up of adopt the measure to minimize the green degradation of the environment, and that futures is to avoid this type of the pollution pollutant and the greenhouse effect, which we avoid to future seems that to develop the renewable energy resources or renewable energy is environment friendly, so that's why harness the more amount of renewable energy resources due to the cause of the reduce the pollution of the environment or the earth system or the biodiversity. So we want to see here what is mean by pollution and what is the main types of the pollution. So what is mean by pollution? That pollutions means that pollutants considered as the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulphur dioxide, trioxide, and other gases which have damage to the environment or system, and that pollutants, because of this pollutants create that system is known as the pollution, and that pollution is known as or basically two times, that is indoor pollution and outdoor pollution. So pollution can briefly classify into two types. So pollution that classify into two types. So first type is the indoor pollution. Okay, so and second type is considered as the outdoor pollution. So what is mean by the indoor pollution? That indoor pollution is mainly caused due to the use of the conventional stove like as the chullas. So that indoor pollution pollution mainly caused due to the conventional stove like chullas. Okay, so that is traditional method to extract or harness the energy with the help of the wood or agricultural waste. So that is mean by this is indoor pollution that is caused by the traditional source of energy or conventional source of energy to burning the wood and agricultural waste to produce the pollution. Okay, so if we have see the about 5 lakh children and women die to the these types of the pollution, so we have need to minimize this pollution, so to increase the facility of the requires the need of improve the household chullas to reduce the indoor pollution. Next type of pollution is the outdoor pollution. So what is mean by outdoor pollution? So that pollution is due to the cause of the burning of the fossil fuels or using of the fossil fuels to produce the outdoor pollution. So outdoor pollution is mainly caused due to the use of the fossil fuel. So the outdoor pollution is mainly caused due to the use of fossil fuels. So that use of fossil fuels so increase the level of the pollution, that such like sources used as the petroleum, coal, burning of coal or gases. So that the possible solution to reduce the indoor, we want to see that the possible solution of reduce the pollution, indoor pollution as well as outdoor pollution to environment pollution are. So what is the possible criteria or what is the possible activity to do the reduce the pollution? So that is possible solution. Possible solution to reduce the indoor as well as outdoor pollution. So what type way and which criteria to avoid or reduce the pollutions? So first one is the use of the fossil fuel should be slowly curtailed. That is mean by you should be use the fossil fuel to has the limited or shortly or limited use of the fossil fuel, or to avoid the maximum use of the fossil fuel, and this less polluting technology should be employed for use of the fossil fuel. So that we have to need to developing technologies so use to the fossil fuel to create the small amount of the pollution. For example, we have to here see here that is the gasified coal, which is less polluting should be the use in the power plant, because we have to know that so in the power plant so energy extraction need to the use of the fossil fuels or burning of the fossil fuels. If directly coal is burning this plant, so that have create the more amount of pollution. If you use the gasified coal is there, so that is we have to use we have to create the less pollution. Next one is as alternative source of using the vehicles that based on the petroleum or gases which have created the pollution. So that alternative source of this type of vehicles use the electrical vehicles or battery operated vehicles should be used in the place of the IC engine vehicles. So first of all, what is the main type? So you or main way to use the fossil fuel should be slowly curtailed. First one is to use the fossil fuel. To use the fossil fuel should be slowly. Should be slowly curtailed. So that is use the small amount of or limited amount of fossil fuel. Second type, use the electrical or electrical vehicle or battery operated vehicles, battery operated vehicle. Next way is use the clean alternative fuel such as the hydrogen fuel. So that is use clean source of energy or such as hydrogen fuel or hydro, because hydrogen is the cleanest fuel and does not cause to the pollution during the power conservation. So these are the major ways to reducing or to avoid the pollution. So we want to see that. So that is the various pollutant which have create the pollution in the atmosphere. So list or see these which is are the pollutant to create the pollution. So various pollutants are listed below. So we want to see here. So various name of the pollutants or various pollutants. So in this various pollutants, so first type is particulate matter. So particulate matter. So in this type of the pollutant, so first one is the particulate matter, and this particulate matter that are present in the earth surface or the atmosphere, which is harmful effect. So that harmful effect is such as the reducing the sunlight, because see that the layer of this matter or pollutants in the earth atmosphere, so which have absorbed the sunlight in the atmosphere, and that is reduces the sunlight to pass in the earth surface. Next one is the reduce the visibility, because the layer of the any gases which have create the pollution in front of you, so that causes to the reduce the visibility. And if you see that the 100 microgram per meter cube yearly average result in the respiratory problem. Okay, so such particulate matter is available or presence in the atmosphere or environment, so that have create the respiratory problems. And above 300 microgram per meter cube yearly, so that result the bronchitis, and permissible limit of the is 75 microgram per meter cube. So above the excitation of the 300 microgram per meter cube, that amount of particulate matter is present in the atmosphere, so that have create the problems of the bronchitis and respiratory system, etc. So we have to need here to reduce the pollution. Next pollutant, main pollutant is named as the carbon dioxide. So this is first. Second one is the carbon dioxide, so that is CO2. Generally, in terms of generally consider, the carbon dioxide is ordinarily not considered as a toxic gas, not considered as a toxic gas, or not considered as a pollutant which have created the pollution. Why? Because it is essential for the photosynthesis process, which have energy create in the plants. So this is one important compound, so that is carbon dioxide, which have take part in the photosynthesis process and to create the energy in terms of the food. So that's why carbon dioxide is generally not considered as a pollutant, and which is also used in the production of the oxygen is essential oxygen and organic matter in the nature, so that it is very important constituent. But if various energy production processes, if the increasing amount of the carbon dioxide gas, so that has hazardous or harmful effect on the atmosphere or livelihood, and carbon dioxide, it is if that is abundance is available in the nature, so that have create the greenhouse effect, or this is the main compounds of which is created the greenhouse effect. But only when if the production of carbon dioxide is excessive amount, then and then only it is the pollutant. But as naturally it is considered as not pollutant, because it is the main part takes in the photosynthesis process which have create the energy or the food. So why the what is the problem of the increasing the CO2 level is mainly due to, that is the why it is produced in the large scale in the atmosphere, because it is large scale combustion of fossil fuel in the coal field to the thermal power plants in the world. So that is main of the source which have created excessive amount of the carbon dioxide in the earth atmosphere release, so which is excessive amount of coal is burning in the thermal power plantation. So next one is the, it may be seen that uh, feeling why excess the amount of carbon dioxide is created in the nature, because the felling of the trees on the large scale, so that is mean by if we cutting the large amount of the tree, so that is caused due to the deforestation, for which is to create the urbanization, agriculture or industrialization, etc. So which if the increase the deforestation, so the increase the level of the carbon dioxide which is the harmful to the nature. uh, Next one is the, or next pollutant is considered as the carbon monoxide. So third pollutant is the carbon monoxide, so that is only considered as the CO2. How the carbon monoxide is released in the atmosphere? So that is, carbon monoxide is formed due to the incomplete combustion of the burning of the carbon. Okay, why it is or how it is created in the atmosphere? That is the incomplete combustion of the, it is incomplete combustion or burning of the carbon inadequate air, and it is seriously impairs of the oxygen dependent tissue in the body, particularly brain, heart and skeleton's muscles. So that brain, skeleton, heart, so that are disease which is arises due to the effect of the carbon monoxide. And that CO concentration if of the range of the 100 ppm, so that causes to headache. If that concentration is increases up to the 500 ppm, that causes the collapse. And if 1000 ppm, so that is the fatal problem which is arises. And smokes, consider as the smokes inhale CO concentration of 400 to 550 ppm, so that have see that, so that is the incomplete combustion of the coal in the atmosphere that have create the many problems like as the headache or collapse or brain problem, etc., due to the cause of the carbon monoxide. Next pollutant is the sulphur oxides, and that sulphur oxide is considered as the SOx. So fourth pollutant is the sulphur oxide, and that sulphur oxide considered as sulphur oxides that considers So the presence of SO2 in the air. The presence of SO2 in the air is due to man-made reasons for involving the combustion of fuels containing the sulfur. So that is the sulfur oxide can further in the oxides forms of the oxides of the sulfur or sulfur trioxide, that is SO3, or turn from the sulfuric acid H2SO4 when absorbed in the water, and that harmful effects on the atmosphere as well as uh, the human being. So that is how, so that sulfur dioxide can further in terms of the oxides, and that oxides from the sulfur trioxide which is turns in the sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, and it is absorbed in the water, so that is harmful effects on the sulfur dioxide are, which is first effect is cause the respiratory diseases including the asthma. Okay, so that increase the concentration of the sulfur oxides, so that have causes the asthma, irritates eyes or the respiratory tracts. Second effect is quartz from the sulfur oxides, which is due to cause of the falling of the acid rains, and which is harmful to the agriculture, forest, as well as vegetation, soil, and the stones. And third main effect is causes the corrosion of the metals, deterioration of electrical contacts and building stones, etc. So these are the effect of the sulfurs, and the safe limit of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere is 80 microgram per the meter cube per annual. Next pollutant is the nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide, and which is considered as the NOx.